up-to-date effects, the place for newbies, indies, as well as low budgeters. This week guys, I've got a really quick, easy and simple tutorial for you since I'm knee-deep in production of my short film. So let's quickly take a look at the request. Ethan Butler asked, how did you make the Chi glare effect? Now what he's talking about are those small cool little moments in the Iron Fist TV show where he has some sort of flashback / Chi meditation, or I don't know what it is. All I know is that I demonstrated it in the Iron Fist hand effect episode. You do remember, right? Of course you do. We're going to be working mainly in Hitfilm Pro because the effects that we're going to use aren't available in Express. It's not my fault. I really would love to have it done on Express so everybody can have access to this type of look and effect. But unfortunately, that's just not the case, and Hitfilm Pro is all we have. But with that said, jump into Hitfilm and I'll meet you there. Here we are in Hitfilm 4 Pro. I've got my shot in a comp looking all delicious and I myself am ready to go. So let's begin. First, let's create a grade layer. After that, we can head to the effects panel and search for the anamorphic lens flare effect and then drop that onto our grade layer. Let's expand those controls and start tweaking. First, what I'll do is set the threshold to 0. I'll leave the intensity at 2 but turn the blur flare property down to 6. Okay, let's head back to the effects panel and search for the auto volume matrix effect. Then we'll drop that onto our grade layer before our anamorphic lens flare effect. Here, I'll change the light fall off to 0.96, the distance scaler to 1700%, and then I'll set the XY position to be -50 and 1630. And the Z position to 1000. In the light source settings, I'll set the threshold to 0.25 and the exposure to -2.5. Finally, in the render settings, change the exposure to 3.5 and the saturation to 0.3. Okay, after all those numbers, it's finally time to animate it. I'll head to the point in my timeline where I want the flashes to begin, then turn the grade layer's opacity down to 0 and turn on keyframing. Let's then head 7 frames forward and set it up to 85%. Then 4 more frames forward and set it to 60%. Then 4 more and set it to 80%. Then 4 more and set it to 60%. As you can see, we have a sort of pattern here, fading in and out to give it a flashy sort of feel. Try and randomize it. Maybe throw in some 70s and 90s here and there. The more spontaneous and random, the better. Once you've done that a few times and you want your flashes to end, turn the opacity back down to 0. You can repeat this for as many times as you want throughout your shot. In order to add some more drama and for our final step, let's select all our layers and make them into a composition. We can then add the shake effect to that comp and twirl open its controls. Set the amount to 0 and turn on keyframing at the point at which your flashes start, maybe a few frames before. We can then move, let's say 1.5 seconds forward and set the amount to 10. Then we can move to a few frames after our last light flash has disappeared and set the amount to 0. We can also make all those keyframes smooth. Well guys, turn on motion blur for that comp as always, add some cool sound effects, and you should end up with something that looks a bit like this. And that's that. I didn't stick 100% to the show's original look because I wanted to add some more weight to it, but it's close enough and it gets the job done. But I want to thank you guys for watching this week's episode. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like down below as well as subscribe and share with your mates. We are so close to 4,000 subscribers and then the big 5,000, the 5,000 milestone. I can't believe we're getting this far on the channel and I only have you guys to thank, so sincerely, thank you. But if you haven't subscribed, subscribe down below. Did I say social medias? You can hit me up on my social medias, Twitter, Instagram. And until next week, I'll see you in the next episode.